Do, do, do. What is going on this monitor? I'm probably live. God, there's this weird thing happening. Like, there's a window that was just stuck in front, and everything I moved to the window was moving behind it. It was weird. Very weird. Maxine, it was weird.
What was weird?
The thing that was going on.
Sorry, I wasn't in the room when the thing was going on.
Yeah.
So
Okay, we'll get out of here so I can do my, I gotta do a streamy thing. Hey, thank you very much, John Marcus. Hey! 13 Thursday. Yeah, I haven't sung a song in so long. I just want to sing. All right. Of course, I just started the stream. I should have started it earlier. But had some stuff going on, trying to write down my list of things I'm probably allowed to say. We will see. But let's see, what other stuff do I need to do to get in prepped for this? Hold on. I'm still in Valentine's Day mode. It has to be a puppy song. I'm trying to think. A puppy song. I don't know what puppy songs are. There was a dog who had a name, and Bingo was his name-o. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name-o. You know, there's all these songs, these classic songs that I don't think Maxine knows. Man, what else puppy song stuff is there? Ooh, it's getting kind of chilly in here, actually. I better pull that down. Yes, I'm going to try to think up another one, but I'll give you a couple more verses of that one while we wait for people to show up. There was a dog who... Bingo the Cracker Jack, already tired, cold... Yeah. For those who don't know, Austin, we set a record. We had, in a 24-hour period, we had a 58-degree swing in temperatures. So it was 88 one day and it was 30 the next. I somehow missed paying attention to the weather. And I was caught by surprise. I was not expecting that. It was hot and sweaty one day and the next day I went out and it's like, what's going on? Let's see, I'll go hang out in Castle Atos here rather than in the dungeon. How much is the doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. How much is the doggy in the window? The one with the waggling tail. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. That's the lyrics I'm going with, though. Oop of the Veil, nice to see today's broadcast was going to be a scorcher. Well, we'll see. Again, there's so many things. I'm going to guess you're referring to the Seed Invest stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff I'm not allowed to say. I mean, last time I was given a list, it was like gone over by legal team. So I'm going to say the stuff I know that Richard has said before, and I'm going to, he's probably shouldn't have said some things he said, but I'll also talk about some of just the obvious stuff that shouldn't need to be said, but I'm going to say it. Try not to get emotional during it. No promises, though. Let me pull up the, I guess first, let me get a better view in here. No one likes the light or the dark. There we go. What am I wearing? All right, let's see. Yeah, I could have a better outfit on, I guess. I don't have lists here to dress me. Do 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 do. You do 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 do. Who needs weapons? Oh, fire dancers. I'm gonna go with the fire dancer outfit. Is that all the fire dancer stuff I have? Alright, I'll just put on boring stuff. There we go. Now I am dressed. Holy cow, I did not change the phrase again. Lainey, I think she forgot to tell me. I think we all kind of had the stream sneak up on us, just like the... Oh! Man. Allie has the answers for everything. Okay, I'll do the song. This will be the real song. Man, this is one of those songs like I've heard like maybe twice in my life, but I've heard like I know of it and I've seen short clips of it. But I'll give it a try here. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high-classed. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high-classed. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Okay, well, there's 3 snippets of 3 different hound dog songs. I'm gonna say that satisfies my my singing requirement there. That one came from Alley Oop. That's why I said has the answer for everything. Do do do. What? I'm kind of overweight, am I? Yeah, I'm kind of overweight in the game. Took me a second there. I've actually been losing weight, getting ready for all sorts of hikes. Although you can't really see the lightings in here. Great. Pretty much just left me with a turkey neck. Come. Ugh. All right, hold on. I'm going to get the list up to talk about stuff. So we had a lot of stuff we were trying to get in this release. Grusk. Is that it? Grusk. I showed it off last release. Pretty much this whole release. Keith did nothing but work on NPCs and tons of other stuff for it. But he wanted to hold it for next release, which I was going to argue with him. But then I remembered this release is R99. Next release is R100. And we need to be extra special, so... We'll see how much special stuff. I'm hoping the cat writing stuff. Wait a minute. Why does this window insist on being in front of everything? Let's try and figure out what that was. I think that was a weird camera angle and a giant lion. What was I saying? Oh, so next release, try and make it extra special. Hopefully. I haven't checked again with Damon to see if he still thinks it can happen. But there's a chance. Next release is when we will get the writing of lots of other stuff. Possibly all big cats. And I see a Sabretooth here. That's, in case you guys were wondering, that was a weird one. It has happened before. Coswald is wise. Wise beyond measure. But I'd actually recognized something was going on, but he pointed out to me that it seemed to only be one client with a different client, so like a Windows client playing with an OS X client or with a Linux client was causing problems, which is the problem which I'd already hypothesized in our chat. I've got witnesses. that I'd hypothesized that's what it was already, and then he said that, and it's like, that's got to be it. So I went and looked, and sure enough, there was. The Windows build did not get all the changes that the other builds got. It was slightly behind because of a build failure that screwed a few things up that I missed. Human error, too many hours worked. But anyway, so that's what the thing was yesterday. That's why a lot of people were out trying to get the saber-toothed tigers and couldn't get them. Need to make the lion head move a bit. It's very statuish. Yeah, you know what? That is pretty still. Put them in front of a library. Park them there. Hey, thank you, Winfield. No more cats. PvP rewards, no more cats. No more cats. So I think this is it for the cats, unless something weird comes up. Damon I think this is wrapping it up this time, and then next release again, his artwork will be on doing a few animations to get the animal riding, and hopefully get it to other things other than horses. So we'll see if that happens. We get that, we get Grusk. Maybe I can actually finish up one of my many gigantic tasks that's been sitting on me for a while. I think release 100 will sound pretty awesome. So this release... yeah, and so I was trying to mix things up. Maybe it was a bad idea. But we're trying to make Sabertooths like something super exceptional. So they start at, I think, tier 12. Where there's only big tigers, no baby saber-tooths. So if you're trying to get a perfect collection of one of every cat type, you're not going to get them for the saber-tooths. There's only a couple that are tameable, I think. And there are no baby saber-tooths. They start big and then they go up to, and there's actually, I don't know if he got into the game. There's one that's supposed to be called Smilodon fatalis, which sounds like a really weird name. Have you guys seen him in game? There's a Smilodon, and then there's a Smilodon fatalis. So Smilodon's actually the scientific name, the actual name for saber-toothed tigers. Yeah, so they're actually called Smilodons. And then there's another type that's even more deadly than the normal Smilodon. That's Smilodon fatalis. Don't ask me why I look these things up. But anyways, he's out there somewhere, I think, but he may not actually exist in the world. He may need to be placed. I don't know if Keith got him in. Adult, Ferocious, Obsidian, and Legendary. I think there's maybe two that go beyond that, because there's up to T20, and then there's a B20 that's a boss 20 that actually has some extra stuff in there. Oh, the phrase that pays. Hold on, let me go look. I'm gonna go look for it again. So weird. This window will not go behind other windows. Hold on, I'm looking. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Let's see. That's what I need to be doing there. 1 second, I'm looking for it. Let's see. So I guess it would be way back here. Where is it? Hold on, I'm looking. I'm trying to find the phrase for you guys. Whoops. I'm not going to find it there. I'm looking in the wrong place. Hold on. Wait for it. I know this is great streaming content, right? Watch an old programmer fumble around in windows that you can't see. There we go. Okay, this should be it. The phrase that pays is behind the window that keeps causing me problems. Yeah, you ready for this? I'm going to change this. Guys, give me a phrase right now. I'll update it right now. Give me a phrase. How about we make the phrase puppy love? I'm in a puppy kind of mood. No, that's not going to be Pandora Rocks. I'm going to make it puppy love. Puppy love. Let's see. Hold on, I know. I'm just waiting for the crowd to grow. Isn't that my usual excuse when I'm screwing around and seeming like I don't know what I'm doing? It's tough not doing the streams like every week. I get super rusty at this stuff. Puppy love. You're still going to get reindeer, by the way, as gifts, because I haven't changed that part, and I don't have time to go figure out what you're going to get for those, so... I'll change the phrase, but you're not getting anything else. Puppy love is the phrase. Puppy love. Updating the phrase, but not prizes. How's everyone doing? Catching up on chat there. Raise it pays. Ooh, someone's got a new book. On the 22nd. I guess you can't post a link. Ishikia Page for her new book. Let's see. It is Friday, Fishy Friday. I've discovered, I've been on a bunch of streams lately talking to some people. About a ton of different things, and that you just saw it right there if you're watching my fish tank. I've discovered that I've got a fish there that my earth eater, he's like an absolutely beautiful fish. He's like a 10 inch long earth eater. Oh crud, I can't remember the actual name for him, but he's been hitting some of the other fish. Look, he's a bully. He's supposed to be super peaceful. He has been forever, but I'm thinking he may have been the one that killed Vulcan, the fish we had die. I know you guys really don't care about that stuff, but I was shocked to see that. And I only saw it because I was like talking to someone on Google Meet or whatever. I had the camera up and I was watching, and I could see myself because I look at myself when I'm on streams. I like to watch myself. No, I don't know why I saw it. I just saw movement in the fish behind me, and then I started watching it. It was Earth Eater was hammering some other fish in the tank. So that guy's turned into a jerk. That guy that guy there. Don't let him fool you. He's like 10 inches long and full of fire. All right, I think I'm ready to get ready. Do some things here. Let me go over real quick just the phrase stuff. Not the phrase. The update stuff. If I can find it. There we go. That's not it. I'm tired, guys. It is a cichlid. Yeah, it's in a 150-gallon tank right now. We're actually, I'm probably getting a 360-gallon tank here shortly. And yeah, they need a bigger tank. I know that's crazy to say with a 150-gallon tank, but we're actually going to pull a couple of those guys out when we get the bigger tank. They're not discus. It's there's a waru, U-A-R-U, and then 4 sevrums in there. 360 gallon with 125 gallon sump is what I'm looking at right now. I wanted to get to like a nice round 500 number, but I can't quite get there. So bigger sump wouldn't fit down there. No, these are all South American cichlids. Sorry, I'm a sucker. If you start talking about fish, or you start talking about dogs, or you start talking about stuff I'm passionate about, like hiking or whatever, I just get dragged into it. Stop it. Stop it. No, they're all South American cichlids. So it's sevrums. It's supposed to be a sausage. Pancakes and sausage is what the tank's supposed to be. So it's pancakes and sausage, where it's supposed to be like all like cigar-shaped fish, or big round flat fish. So the sevrums are the pancakes, and then there's 3 dojo loaches and Bisher in there. All right, we're getting some people here, getting a crowd. Let's see, what are we up to? Okay, we're up to 88. I can kind of start paying attention now and trying to get some content out to you guys there. So again, this release, we actually pulled some stuff, some of it a little intentional, some of it just because we didn't want to rush things out. And Sanya wanted to do a great job, and it seemed like on the new map, and sounds good to me. So we're holding that for R100. We're going to try to make R100 something special. We'll see if we can find some new ways, bonuses, rewards for you. I see people are doing the butt scoot there. Ezekiel Cooper. Yeah, so this release there's some new stuff again. The new cats are out. I got the roars on all the cats. How are the roars working out? I only got to do brief testing on them. So I know I've already had feedback on a couple of them that sounded like people were happy with them. I'm waiting to hear which ones are OP and which ones are not OP. But the idea behind that was you're putting the cats out there. I know they're going to be fairly popular just based on looks and coolness and new factor. But each one has a different roar that does something different. I forget which one. I think tigers have roars that like debuff or hurt other people. Or I think the male lion has a mesmerize. Female lion has a life attunement buff, AE, but it's supposed to give it to the party. But the idea is that there's some that give your party buffs and there's some that do negative things to other guys. So there'd be a reason. So not everybody's sitting around with a saber-toothed tiger like they're doing right now, right in front of me with 3 saber-toothed tigers. So there's a reason to not just have the 3 saber-toothed tigers. Let's see. And yeah, there's going to be some more iterations on stuff. I kind of let Devil Cult run wild on things. Getting the deck sorting stuff. He did some work on the deck, the deck editor. But getting that so it's either drag and droppable or some other easy move stuff. It's probably on the short list, I know, just because that's a big functionality and annoyance thing. I know he fixed some bugs in that. I think he fixed the bugs with the key bindings on it, possibly. But the big thing was new journal UI also went in. There's some new fish, mounted young fish. Some bug fixes went in. And let's see, some dungeon rooms. Ravlox is working his butt off on the dungeon rooms, and he's finding out how much fun they are and how many hundreds of ways you can... those things can break, especially the more complicated the room gets, the more different ways that can be buggy. But he's working through that. I know he fixed some things. I know some things he wanted to have fixed. Don't think he's not working on it. He is actually working on it. Also, the soda bot, the little robot he runs. We don't know what happened to it. It lives at our data center, but it stopped responding. We don't know why. But at some point, I think one of us is going to get over there and hard reboot the soda bot and see if it comes back. Until then, though, he got a local soda bot working, so he's got a soda bot working at home, I think. But yeah, so soda bot should be back up. Let's see. A few combat balances went in, some more reward stuff you guys got. No one's wearing their leprechaun bowler hat. Oh, there's one person there. Yep. There you go. There's somebody wearing the leprechaun bowler hat. It's even got a little shamrock on there. Let's see. You got some more the Xenocian urns. Clover paver set. Sparse clover paver set. Wax cylinders. And then a bunch of Lua work got done. A few more bug fixes and a lot of quest bug fixes. That's when we do the list at the end of the month. Sanyo is always the one that wins in terms of number of bugs fixed. Which he does have the advantage of. There's a lot of quest bugs that need to be fixed. So, but he continues to grind through those guys and doing some good stuff on them. We fixed a bunch of things that were causing errors, that were spamming errors. This is one of those things that they weren't actually fatal errors, but anytime we log an error, we log an exception, it's got to like throw a message and it logs stuff to the log. Causes a big memory spike and can cause performance problems over time. So those are things that we need to fix. They don't have like a real super visible upfront effect. But we did do a bunch of those cleanup type things. Just it was getting bad because it also starts filling up our log servers when we have a bunch of those. So we're not quite down to 0, but we're trying to get back to 0 tolerance. At one point we were 0 tolerance on those, and we basically patch until we fixed 100% of everything. Let's see. Let's see. Reading up to catch up on chat here. And then I'll talk about the stuff that I'm sure a lot of you are here to talk about. Or to listen to hear me talk about. So I'm going to talk a lot about this, and I'm not going to say much. That's the upfront warning for you. The topic that I'm going to talk about here is the seed invest stuff. So I got a lot of side things to talk about. So, and a lot of probably truth dumps. Hold on, let me shut the door. Get it warmer in here at least. Behave, Earth Eater. So a lot of this stuff, like I said, I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't already know. It's just I think maybe some people are in denial, but Shroud did not succeed financially. So I'm mentioning this not because I'm trying to put down Shroud or scare people off or anything. I mention it because that's this whole thing behind the seed invest was invest in it, and if we do well financially, then everything is groovy and people get paid out. I don't know the details on it. Neither Richard nor Star nor myself were involved in the seed invest stuff. That was the person who did that. I won't name him, but people could probably figure out who he is if they care. But it was him, and we actually had a CFO briefly. And him and the CFO ran the seed invest. That's actually, I think, why we got a CFO for a little while, is just so he could manage the seed invest stuff. Anyways, the thing that should be obvious is we did not do well financially. So again, so many different reasons. I keep saying I could write a book on all the different ways we both succeeded and failed, and stuff that was great about the project and things that we wish we'd done better. There were just a lot of hindrances from the start that made some bad decisions from the start that made the project less profitable than it should have been. And there's also, I mean, if you look at it though, it's one of those things, when we came out, there's always a lot of these like waves of stuff that happens as people see somebody do something and other people try. Well, we kind of got caught in one of those waves with doing a Kickstarter. For reasons can't go into too much, but the Portalarium company was not doing great. It was supposed to have a successful Facebook game that was going to pay for Shroud. That didn't happen. Due to how some of this stuff was, like investment junk was started, and the company was started, there was no way no equitable way for Richard to try to help the company financially, personally, and that's also a lot to ask. And so basically we did Kickstarter, and that kind of crippled the project in a lot of ways. Now, the thing that I will say is we talk about, like I'm sitting here acting like Shroud was a failure or something like that, was I think there were 12 very similar Kickstarters done in about a 1.5 year period that were very similar to ours, with all the different ones. And I don't even know what all the ones were. We'd done the count at some point, but with like Crowfalls and Pantheons and Camelot's Unchained, and I forget, there's like 2 or 3 others that were big, in the $1 million to $2 million range. So the thing is, I talk about like we didn't do well. Of those 12, really 2 have shipped. Shroud of the Avatar shipped, and then just recently Crowfall shipped. Crowfall only shipped with tons of external money added in. So yeah, and then there's Star Citizen. That was kind of in a different world of... it's funny. Again, this is pretty much turned into a dev talk, but yeah, that's when Star Citizen was going, like we all talked about. It's like, okay, these guys are just showing like pretty pictures, pretty JPEGs. They can't do that for long. People are going to stop giving them money soon. At some point they're going to have to show a product. So that's our thought, was like we needed to show a product early and often to keep our backers happy and whatever. Exact opposite. That's one of those that bad judgment, probably mostly on me. But I mean, I wasn't in a decision-making point at that point, but I think I'm probably the one that pushed that. But anyways, we showed you guys early and often. I think it helped the game in a lot of ways. It hurt the game in a lot of ways. Again, financially, we would have been much better if we'd gone the Star Citizen route and just built hype and not giving you anything but pretty JPEGs. But that wasn't really what we wanted to do. We really were focused on trying to make a good game with the community. So in that sense, all right, people naming off all the different ones out there. Yeah, that's... yeah, so in that sense, we succeeded in that we got a game out, and, it has not made a ton of money, but it's made a lot of people happy, and it's built a nice community, which is really the important thing we're going for. I mention all that as, people upset about the seed invest stuff, just making it clear like that's supposed to be if the company does well, you guys do well. Obviously, Portalarium did not do well. And I'm going to read my list. I made a list here of what I planned on telling you guys that I thought I would not get in trouble for. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to go not too far off my list here. I already have, but let's see. So again, this is another one of those things I just want to clear up. And again, there's going to be, there's people out there who will cheer for the failure of anything. But there are a lot of like crazy rumors around like Richard things went bad because Richard stole money from the company or was taking like, lying in his pockets, go to space or whatever nonsense. But I mean, people are always going to say that. The exact opposite is true. I guarantee the amount of money Richard put into the project greatly exceeded the amount he took out. For the longest time, and this probably hasn't been said, but he never took a paycheck. There was a long time where he took a paycheck, but it was only because he had to because of the employment company we use, like the payroll company required him to take a check. Star and I also were in that same boat. We'd missed paychecks for months and basically for years. Just to try and keep the team bigger and keep things going. So don't think this is, I just want to make sure, I don't think we've ever said that type of stuff before. So now I'm saying it just so you guys know that's the truth. Now, here's another thing. If you look at our team right now, in fact, there's one in here, as I saw Winston in there. I'm sure maybe Allie's in there, Allie Oop, Ravlock, some of these other people. I think in total we've had 6 people that I've invited to the team in a not just like a partial way, but like including them on our chats. Like there's no private chat channels. In fact, Ravlox is actually the guy who's in charge of the chat, so he knows there's no like private chat channels. Those 6 people I invited to the team were all people that I trust immensely, but because they're people of great character. So I'm mentioning that because of those 6 people, you know how many NDAs I signed any of those people to? 0. If those 6 people were on the team, they've seen everything that's gone on. They've heard everything. They even have access to seeing what our revenue is. If those people are not out there telling you guys, if they're sticking with and continuing to help out, there's not anything shaky going on here. Just want to point that out as, I think having people from the outside on the inside and see that, yes, we're actually being super duper crazy honest with you guys all the time whenever we can. Entirely too much is kind of the point there. Again, no NDAs. Those guys are around here somewhere and can confirm all that stuff. Hey, there's Ravlox. So anyways, so that's another thing. So there's not any like fishy business or crazy stuff. I'm sure the forums. I have not read the massively OP article. I actually had a beef with Bree a while back, which I just basically won't go to her site and read it. And there's the last couple times I sent her emails trying to clarify or fix something, it turned into out of context snippets and even more negativity. So I just don't go there anymore. So I know that there's a story up there. I don't know what it says. But anyways, there's people on the team, like I said, who have complete access to 100% of everything from how many crowns we sell, how many pots we sell, all that stuff. There's no fishy business. There's no one pocketing a ton of money. So let me get into my part the other parts in here. So what I can tell you about Seed Invest, and hold on, I'm going to reread what I have written down. Let's see. Hold on, I got some more stuff here I wanted to say first. So again, this is you guys saw how the way Portalarium went. Things were not working financially for the company, and the team shrank. Again, we continued. The people who were still in the team were the most passionate people. Star was there right up until the end, and he went without pay for the longest time, still contributing, still showing up for work, doing everything. Honestly, if Star could program and you had to publish the game, he'd probably be the one sitting in this chair talking to you guys now because he's that passionate about it. So cannot say enough good stuff about Star. Same thing with Richard. Cannot say enough good things about him. Just want to throw that out there that probably I'm the guy sitting in the seat, not because I'm the one who is super passionate about all this stuff, but because I'm the guy that can actually do the stuff. I'm trying to do the ASMR thing. I don't even know how they do it. But anyways, hold on. I'm going through my list. And again, this is one of those things I've got to be super careful in what I say because it's all like wrapped up in multiple agreements that I've signed. That's part of me taking over Shroud. Okay, so one of the things I'm pretty sure I can tell you because I think Richard has said this at some point, which is this was not a Portalarium went to the end and then handed the company to me. The Portalarium went to the end, basically where it could go no further under, just due to the financial load of having a big company, and the employment company we had was problematic, and there's just a bunch of problems. Keeping Shroud running without any interruptions is actually the best thing for the investors. So we never took Shroud down, even though Portalarium basically died. They shopped. And I was not the first place that this ended up is coming straight to me and me making the highest offer. Actually, a third party got involved. They tried to find someone to buy Shroud. Again, just on the behalf of the investors, trying to look out for the investors. Did an insane amount of due diligence. In the end, there was nobody that made sense, except I stepped forward and tried to take over Shroud. I think it's just spam. Not someone calling me and telling me to shut up. But yeah, so that's kind of where things went, is when things got to the end there, keeping the game running was in the best interest of the investors. Looking around, trying to find someone, a third party doing that, best interest in the investors. In the end, the thing that was we believe in the best interest in investors was selling the game to me with some agreements for payback should I be able to get the company going up. That's where things are. There is a company, so I can say in terms of the seed invest stuff, I've done the part that I'm contractually obligated to do, which is my company files reports with them, quarterly reports. That's the part I was supposed to do. So I don't know what's going on with the seed invest side of things that the other group has not replied. I think they've not replied because, again, they moved Portalarium to be a dormant or a dead entity, or I'm not sure what the deal is with them. You guys can look up online and find the same stuff I have. But I have filed with them, and again, just have not been able to get upward movement. Now, some of this is again taking some gambles and trying to make the game better. Has been my focus. That hasn't been any secret that my focus has been 100% on trying to make the game better. Biggest part of that is getting more players in game. I wish all the scenes looked like this all the time, but getting more players in the game is important. So one of the things that happened that, again, is a long-term gamble, maybe it'll pay off, but was one of the things that killed us early on was it was very much it wasn't pay to win. That's one of those things. It cost a lot. That was a really expensive game, but it wasn't a pay to win game. The stuff we were selling was not really pay to win. But one of the things was trying to bring down the cost, the bar to entry to bring more players into the game because we're not making money selling really expensive stuff. Bring the money down, see if we can get more players in and get it that way. So again, like I told you, this is a major truth dump. Hold on, I'm looking. Is Richard out there? Hopefully Richard's not out there. He'll probably be yelling at me, telling me to shut up. Again, none of this stuff is like secret stuff, I don't think. This is stuff that has all been said before. Some of it's just the obvious, like, let me point out, we don't make a lot of money. So, that's okay. That was never really the goal. The goal was to keep the community going, to keep the game going. We have done that. I have tried to make the game make money in terms of doing the best for the investors. Some of it's taking gambling, some gambles, like I said, turning down like cost of everything in hopes of getting more players in the game, which of course in the short term lowers our revenue, but if we can get more players in the game, that'll raise our revenue long term. Some of those sort of paid off, maybe paid off. It's hard to say. It's too many variables involved, but I've definitely tried to get revenue improved again for the investors. But I don't know what's up with the seed invest guys. They've contacted the people who are supposed that I send the reports to, and I guess they just didn't respond for some amount of time, and they sent out a letter. Nothing's really changed in years, though. I'm still under contract to continue, if I can get the game to make some money, to pay them, which is supposed to be paid at some point back to some investors. I will let you guys know if I get to that bar. Trust me. Also, another thing in terms of like going forward, like I said, we have people on the team. Everybody on the team can see the numbers, can see the revenue stuff. It's not like I'm pocketing stuff. For the last 2 years, I've probably taken maybe half my paychecks to a third of my paychecks. I was actually salary capped as part of the agreement to what I was making before, which again was okay. I'm not getting paid that, but that was part of one of those things. Is like if you're thinking that like there's some like stuffing money in pockets or bags or whatever, or, going to the Bahamas or whatever. That is not it. It has been a huge money loss in terms of what I would be making in another company. But that's not why I'm doing it. Oh, I'm getting whispers and stuff here. Hold on. All right, we're using. Went with Puppy Love. Laney, I went with Puppy Love. Let's use those items though. And yeah, sorry I didn't get that updated last month. We're updating the prizes. We will have updated prizes today. Let's see. Trying to stay focused here. It's really tough not to like just blurt out a bunch of stuff that would get me in trouble. I don't think I have. So again, the goal was to keep the game around. You guys know I'm a long-term MMO player, Ultima Online, EverQuest, even quite a bit, few thousand hours of WoW and Asheron's Call and Asheron's Call 2 and Guild Wars and all the other stuff. I've been fortunate in those games I picked where they stayed up, but there's so many games that come up now and go down. Nothing sucks worse than that. You get together, you build a community, you have friends in game. I didn't want that to happen. That actually happened to a previous MMO I worked on, Tabula Rasa, which was, it was a good game. It came out probably a little rushed. For whatever reason, it just didn't grab people. It had a lot of people who were passionate about it, but not enough to make the publisher happy, and the publisher shut it down. That sucks, shutting down online community, stuff like that. I did not want to let that happen. I had the means to not let it happen and keep the game up, which is what I decided to do and what I'm going to continue to do. As soon as possible, I moved everything I could to try to be as cheap as possible in the long run. I'm continuing to do that, to move away from AWS. Hold on, I gotta see this call to see if it's somebody yelling at me. Nope, someone calling about a free trial. But anyway, so moving that, because that's the goal, is to keep the game going. Something that probably will happen is I'll continue to migrate more and more community people into helping with the game. But again, in terms of why we do it, the other thing was, this is like math that I think people on the team have done a number of times. I took over the game and had some control over it right before the pandemic started. So there's kind of that, woo, got a game, we can fix everything and make it awesome. And I think we have fixed a ton of stuff. We've improved a ton of stuff. We sure have tried. I don't think it's been enough, but again, really small team of people. And it's basically money comes in and I hand it to people is how the the game works, in case you guys didn't know, paying the employees. But pandemic started, and then we're in the pandemic time, and we got to keep people home. So over the past 2 years, I actually went and pulled the number. Since the pandemic started, we have had 5 million hours played by players. So 5 million hours have been played in-game by players. It's 5 million hours of entertainment, 5 million hours of community time. If you look at it, the team varies in size in terms of how many people are full-time, part-time, volunteer, but it's been around like 10 people, up and down some at times. But it's 10 people for 5 million hours. So would you volunteer taking a slightly reduced paycheck to work on a game if you knew it meant that just your efforts alone were going to result in 500,000 hours of people playing a game? That's a lot. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of stuff. So unless you're a monster, that makes sense. So that's kind of one of those things. It's easy to, have that make sense to you. All right, let's see. There's not much else I can say. Again, there is a law group, a legal group that has been handed out anytime this stuff has come in that we've forwarded people to them. I know they have not been responsive. Maybe people will get response now. I don't know. And they're not crooks or anything. I think they just they see it as this is now a dormant company and didn't see the need to reply. But again, if they do, if by some miracle, which I hope to have some miracles here soon, things do turn around and revenue does go up and we do get more players in, then as far as I know, there's no reason that still can't happen. Thank you very much, Spry1, and I'll try to thank you guys all at the end here. Still trying to stay on target and get through all the seed invest stuff. Yeah, I tried writing this stuff down to try to come up with like a list, and it's just really tough to get across because a lot of it I think it needs to come from my mouth because I can't give you any information that you don't already have, most likely. So a lot of it's just me trying to explain the reality of some of this stuff, which is the game failed financially. It did not fail as a community, and it did not fail as, being fun. So, again, seed invest, unless we can turn things around financially, then there's probably not going to be anything there for it. Again, no one on the team really profited from it. Even when we got the seed invest stuff, all that did was pay for salaries on the team, trying to make a better game. So, it did not go in anybody's pocket. I think we were all on reduced salaries at that point anyway, so. Let's see. I did want to throw out a couple things, just say, again, this is one, you look back on what we did, and, some people on the outside looking in will probably say the game was, in some ways a failure, which it was by a lot of definitions. It was a financial failure. I don't think the game was a failure in terms of what we did. We had a lot of challenges just in the way we developed things. It's a really tough way. It's an interesting way to develop things. I think it built a strong community, but it was challenging for the game because without having a big upfront money input where we can plan and actually have like a real plan, because I know like we did 1.9 million or something in the Kickstarter. I think what we actually got to the bank's like 1.7 million. 1.7 million does not pay the bills for long on an MMO, for development of an MMO. You're looking at the normal billing time that you put down for people when you're putting down how much they cost is usually a minimum of 10K per man month is what you would bill. And that's when you're billing out to like any type of third party, whatever. That's what you should plan on. So you look at that, that's not that many, that's less than 20 people for a year type stuff. That's not a huge amount of work. So the whole time we never had any good runway, so we never could make any really good long-term plans. So it's really just all been iterative, which has been good in a lot of ways because we can listen to you guys, but it's just been really tough to make any big changes. And without any big influx of money, it's just impossible to make that planning. And that's how it's been basically since the start. It always felt like there's just, 3 months, maybe at one point we had maybe 6 months of runway type stuff. We never really, and so much of our time had to be unfortunately focused on money raising type stuff, which in a lot of ways detracted from the game. We tried to make sure we never did pay to win stuff, despite what a lot of people said, which is another one of those things. I'm sure we could probably raise more money if we'd done pay to win stuff, but we did not want to because again the focus was making a good game. But the reason I'm mentioning that is the challenges. There were a lot of challenges. Again, the financial side of things is where we never had a good money model in terms of we didn't have a good starting money. We didn't have a really good, strong business person or plan, just due to some previous mistakes that were made by people not named Richard, not named Star, and not named Chris. So, anyways, let's see, 1.9 on Kickstarter. Yeah, 1.9 on Kickstarter, but they take a fair amount of fees out of that. I forget what it was, but in total, by the end, it was like maybe 12% out of that. So you end up losing, $100,000, $200,000 or $200,000 by the end of that. Drunk telethons. Yes, the drunk telethons were good for raising money. It was also killing both Star and myself. I think Richard loved them. Richard would do drunk telethons all the time, I think, but Star and I were dying there. We're too old to do that stuff. So anyways, I just want to get the reason I was pointing out like all the challenges because I wanted to emphasize like 100 times over. Star is absolutely freaking amazing, not just as a person but at his job. The other one is Richard is like beyond amazing. He is good to the people. He is insanely creative. He listens. He's just like awesome in so many ways. So I want to throw that out just because a lot of this seems like I'm like sitting here bashing Shroud in terms of it failing in some way or another. It is not the fault of either of those two guys. I would like to think it's not my fault, but you guys have to be the judge of that. Yeah, and the passion Star put into stuff. That's you guys. You probably saw the patch or the release notes yesterday. Right here, Elgarion's still at the pub training. He actually trained up. I did see he did some work this release, but he was spending a lot of his time training Winston up on stuff. Winston, who is out there. So, but he did some other stuff as well. Did some fishing stuff. But the notes, the patch notes, eat up a ton of time, and it's also one of those things. If you look at the patch notes, it's basically a list of all the stuff that happened on the release. And he didn't know about all that stuff. I'm more than anybody else in the team. I'm the guy who knows about that stuff that happened. So it makes sense that I do it. It's just I have zero time anyway, so we're kind of doing it as a group effort there. But if you look at my patch notes compared to the patch notes like Star would put out, like his were like just volumes. It's like a book every freaking time. All right, so again, my guess is the people who are here today probably were curious to hear me say something about Seed Invest. I probably didn't tell you exactly what you wanted to hear. I think the people who are probably angriest about Seed Invest, there are probably people who are not here who don't know anything about the community, don't know why stuff is here. But again, the short version is Seed Invest stuff. Portalarium was closed down in a legal way, due diligence, everything done. Many people tried to sell the game to other people. I kept the game running because that's the best thing for the investors is if I kept the game running. You know, a game where you shut down the product and then try to sell it. Good luck. So again, and then it wasn't until long after that I was able to negotiate buying the game after they tried to sell it to other people. So that's why, in case I think some people are like, why is Portalarium still around? Whatever. I don't think Portalarium's still around. That's one thing we do need to do, though, is we're going to try to remove all the Portalarium references from the front page. So, again, I don't think anything will come of this because, again, all the stuff that happened in it was done legally. And I'm actually, when this all went down, I was actually I was working at a company where this historically happened, like a crazy thing happened. You guys remember Acclaim, the software company Acclaim Computer Games, made NBA Jam, made some wrestling games, made some other number of other games, Football Club. I forget all the other different games that came out of there. Turok, sorry. How can I forget Turok? That was actually the studio I was the technology manager at. Was that one, the Austin one. But that company, the New York office was pretty criminal. We didn't have any control over things down here. We actually came in. I was like a director type, and I didn't know like the day the office was going to be closed, and there was a security guard and locked doors, 200 plus people outside. But those guys, after the fact, we found out all the crazy stuff that went on. They declared Chapter 7, but they actually declared the owner of the company, president, I forget what his title was, but he actually sold a bunch of the assets to himself for like $5 or something like that. And then declared Chapter 7 for the company. Like, as if that were somehow legal. They tried to sell basically all the valuable stuff. I mention that because that's not what happened here. This is, it was actually tons of due diligence. The company Shroud of the Avatar was shopped around to a bunch of people to see if somebody wanted to pick it up. They did not. Which, possible blessing in disguise, but I'm sure it does look semi-weird to people who are not paying attention. All right, I've said entirely too much probably. Again, all that honesty. Truth bombs for you there, people. Oh, so that's the other thing. Let me reassure the crowd. Shroud of the Avatar is not going anywhere. That's the good news. Never intended to. If Shroud of the Avatar continues to make what it makes, it's going to continue. If it continues to make 1/10 what it makes, it's going to continue. The total cost to run Shroud is down. I've got it down to a little under $2,000 now. So my plan is to continue to run Shroud indefinitely. The team size may vary. Again, I'm trying to figure out ways to get more stuff out there for you guys, and some of that will probably involving more community members. But yeah, so Shroud's not going anywhere. Yeah, probably this whole like negative talk and emotional talk, talking about how great it is. I could see how you guys might think that's like a goodbye. No, Shroud's not going anywhere. I promised Ezekiel Cooper, he's out there somewhere. He made me promise that nothing was going to happen to Shroud. As far as I have any control in it, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't know what's going on with the company that's supposed to respond to Seed Invest, but I don't, again, there's some angry people and people saying crazy stuff. That happens all the time, but everything was done legally above board. Under $2,000 a month to run Shroud. Sorry, 2,000 gold ingots a month to run Shroud, and that cost is actually coming down as well. So it's actually getting cheaper to run Shroud as we continue to move stuff, because we're continuing to try to move away from Amazon stuff, as I've mentioned over the past few months, since all of our downtime has basically been related to Amazon. But anyways, yeah, so Shroud's not going anywhere. I bought permanent licenses to everything I buy permanent licenses to. I have, Elwin, that's the data center we have is about $1,000 a month. That's where everything runs, the data center. And then there's AWS cost, which right now is about $800 a month. And then I'm trying to think what other stuff. There's a few other things that we license that we probably do without. Oh, we pay for email. That's another one. So I can send out emails occasionally to you guys, which is a couple $100, not that much. But anyways, yeah, so that's a truth bomb. Don't worry about it. Things will continue. Again, the team size will vary. The team makeup will probably vary. As you guys have known, there's been a lot of people who are on the team who still help the team. Like I just had yesterday, we had a problem and Undone jumped in and came and fixed it. But that's, again, the guys who, were here in the last 2 years. Every single one of them is passionate about the game and will do what they can to help. And again, it's because they're passionate about both the team and the community stuff, and they're willing to help out for free or cheap. Guys like Tassilo and some of these other guys who've just been around forever, who are still around and still help, and occasionally get paid. So, things. Yes, AWS will not take Kodos, I know. Do Twitch subs towards supporting Soda? So there's going to be some interesting news. Hopefully that'll be announced in the not too distant future that I think will bring Shroud a ton of business. So that's the good news. I can't say anything at all about it, but let's see. A ton of servers with coin in the base. No, you can't do Bitcoin mining on the servers we have. They're like 10-year-old super micro boxes with no video cards. But anyways, Shroud will continue. The only thing we had, there's occasionally scary things that come up, like we had that patent troll thing come up. But that is on the way to be dismissed. I guess it's still waiting for a judge to sign off on the dismissal. And pretty please go NFTs. I should put out a poll up there to see what people think about that idea. I've thought about different ways of using that, doing land rushes. Yes, there are two parties on that, and there's not much gap in between them. There's people who are like, NFTs are awesome, and then there's this huge, huge ocean of people, and then it's like, NFTs are a scam. There are some points to it. There's some good stuff about it. I'm not going to badmouth NFTs. The only problem I ever had with NFTs are basically the energy costs associated with them. But there is some good stuff you can do with them. Lots of good stuff you can do with them. And in coins, there's lots of other flexibility. I don't see it fitting into Shroud's world, though. NFTs solved all my laundering problems. Yes, that's a great thing to do with your NFTs. But anyways, yeah. So there's actually reasons. There's good uses for NFTs. But the thing is, for the coin and NFTs to work, it would be really tough to insert after the fact. It's something that can make sense if the game is designed from scratch around that. I think there's a lot of stuff people just don't understand about NFTs and how the money model on those things work. I've actually learned a lot about that stuff, and it's not as dumb. It's not as dumb as I thought it was. I think Star would probably say the same thing. He and I have had a bunch of talks. But yeah, so NFTs are not as dumb as I once believed they are. They have some purpose, but again, if the game were designed from the ground up around them, there'd be a lot of ways that it would make sense. There'd be a lot of benefits to it. Same thing with like crypto coins, in-game type stuff. If it were designed from the start, it would make sense. So Shroud was not, but yeah, there's tons of stuff out there. So the metaverse, Wax Network. Let's see. Bought my pledge with mined bitcoins. And probably when you bought your coin with mined bitcoins, if we'd kept the bitcoins, we could have, we'd probably be billionaires by now and have a team of 100 people working on it. Gotta hold them, man. Hold them. All right, let's see. I've not done any questions here. Yeah, sorry for the huge brain dump on that stuff, but I'm proud of myself. I thought I'd probably get emotional on some of that stuff. I held it together. Hodl. But yeah, that's kind of the brain dump on stuff. Again, there shouldn't be any surprise, and I think the people who are most upset and threatening lawsuits and thinking that some scammy stuff is going on, absolutely not. And if you thought that, you probably weren't paying attention, or you were getting your information from Reddit or wherever. So, but yeah, Shroud's not going anywhere. We're not making enough money to pay paychecks, but it's fine. We're all doing fine. Keeping the people paid. Usually hand out to people. We did have for a while. We did basically whatever. If we only made 80% payroll, people had agreed if you're going to be on the team, you only get an 80% check. And we did have a few of those months a while back, sometime last year. But now we've just kind of scaled some people back, and some people work part time, and everything's good. I'm not putting Shroud in the ground or anything. Just happy I got so much double experience points. Yeah, I got to figure out what can I do for R100. Let's get to a totally different topic here. What can I do for Release 100 to make Release 100 guys special? Brainstorm with me. Quad XP. 100 times XP. Full release of 2 XP. 2x resources. That's something we might be able to do. What if we did something like we made like most resource things farm. Like you got double from farms, you got double from nodes. That'd be a good one. Ride the cats. I'm trying for that key man for. PvP rewards. Asmodee, I think you're in that group. I basically got to the end of last year and I was just super stressed and exhausted, and I realized that I was in the PvP group, and there's so much stuff I want to do, but I'm actually doing something. Again, the thing, hopefully we'll get some type of announcement that will boost some audience stuff here soon. But spending some time on that, spending some time basically trying to relearn a lot of stuff, including learning like NFTs and all that type stuff, so I'm not totally ignorant. I'm not the old man standing on his yard shaking his fist at NFTs and crypto. Get off my yard, crypto! 24/7 drunk dev stream. It'll be a drunk dev stream for my wife and daughter here in a bit. Let's see. Pot owners can increase with town deco limits. Maybe we can bump up a few things. All right, well, I'm getting some good ideas here. Yeah, I like the increased resource mining stuff, not just the experience, but what you get out of it. Zyther says metaverse. Yeah, metaverse it still makes me cringe a little bit. I mean, I get what they're using to represent the metaverse. Like when they say metaverse, what they mean is actually cool. I just hate the metaverse because they're not really making a metaverse. They're really just trying to make a bunch of things that fit together. It's a series of pipes connecting things. We have legs in soda. A new replenishing crate. All right. Surprise pixel gifts in the mail. Let's see. Duke Ezekiel, I mean, I would appreciate anything we get out there. It's tough. I mean, that's the thing I've been seeing is even when I've gone and spent a bunch of my own money trying to do like a month of super heavy promotion, and it gets some people into game. There's just a lot of challenges that are really tough to fix in terms of getting people to stick. Just fixing up that starting experience because again, that's the metrics continue to show it, and our curve looks very different. Like most other games, that have a much higher stick rate at the start. And then afterwards, they have a lower stick rate, and it's because they spend a ton of time polishing up the starting experience and making their starting experience awesome. But the game may not be that fun afterwards, and so you have fun with it briefly, and then after that, it quits being so awesome. And Shroud's kind of the opposite of that. Is we lose like 90% of the people in the first 15 minutes of the game, and then after that, if they stick, then they tend to stick for a long time. So let's see. Yeah, I wish I could find some way to get people past that starting experience. I've thought of actually just doing a video where it's just me telling people our game sucks. I'll bet you $5 you can't get through the first 30 minutes. Yep, and retention is key, and that's the thing. That's just talking to some people. There's actually some people that I mentioned I've been doing video chats. I'm like helping some other people out with some stuff, trying to spread my love around and my knowledge. As I say, I can help you because I've done everything wrong. So I know what things are wrong. Yeah, that is one of those things that we've seen that was kind of surprising from Shroud that I definitely will take with me as experience forever and share with people whenever I can, which is, guilds. If most games, guilds are like the number one thing to keep people in game, and that's true, but we've got like kind of two guilds in Shroud of the Avatar. We've got the guilds and then we've got player-owned towns, and there's kind of, passion for both, and both of those are points that stick, so getting someone in. Oh yeah, Elden Ring. Yeah, I was expecting the internet to go down today with Elden Ring coming out. That thing does look freaking amazing. It's a totally different type of game than Shroud, but it's the Demon Souls guys, the From Software or whatever. But yeah, it looks gorgeous. Super cool. I may give it a try at some point. I don't think the only game I've played lately, I keep having people ask me that stuff too, is what games do I play to get ideas for Shroud from? And sadly, the game I've been playing the most is still Minecraft because I play with my daughter. Any game I can play with my daughter is 100 times better than any other game in the world, basically. Let's see. Split the scene on Novi again. Playing Ark with mine. Let's see. Overcooked is fun game too. But yeah, the Soda Sucks challenge. That's it. We have done those things in the past because we did, just because we were the model we released. If you guys remember early on, we actually had some videos we were hoping would go viral. Basically, a don't read the comments section where we went and read the comments. And again, I mentioned all the things we did wrong. This is something that I think we did horribly wrong for 80% of the world. 20% of the world got it and stuck with it, which is, again, the super early release and letting people into the game well before it's ready. So many people, due to that, just so much hate and toxicity and thinking the game was horrible, they just didn't get it. That this isn't the game. This is the game evolving to its final form. Insert final form meme here. Release 100. How about 100-hour live stream featuring Atos? Yay! But yeah, for release 100, I guess one thing I'm doing is I won't say when, but sometime in the not too terribly distant future, I'm going to be doing a 100-mile hike for release 100. Maybe I'll videotape myself on that. Doing a 100-mile hike in just over 5 days, so almost running a marathon every day. Technically, I will be walking very slowly, but, John Marcus, I'd get drunk on stream again. I tried that. It didn't work last time. Sherwood Fair opens. We're still being pretty careful with the COVID stuff. We haven't got it. we're just about the point where we're going to get out and do everything. The numbers are coming down. We're really just trying to stick it out for Omicron. Stay home until it blew over. And city of Austin was in like the 20 people a day cases or 30 cases a day, and all of a sudden it shot up to 3,000. And so my wife basically chained the doors and wouldn't let me leave the house. But yeah, I don't think she's ready to let me go to Sherwood Fair yet, so. That is outside at least. You ain't got time? Well, so what I learned last year, since this has really just been me babbling the whole time, what I learned last year when I did, if you guys remember, I went and did about a 30-mile hike in the mountains at like, basically the low point in the hike was like 10,000 feet. It's the 4-pass loop for anybody who knows hiking stuff in Colorado. Hike around Maroon Bells. It's just outside of Crested Butte and Aspen. But what I found out from that was I'd been having like horrible sleep problems. I really just couldn't sleep more than 4 hours or so at a time. But I'd get up and I'd be totally wide awake and go work. But it's one of those things that's not healthy long term, even though I get a ton of work done. I'm kind of back in that mindset again. But after I did that 30-mile, like really stressful, just basically straight up and down, like all these 13,500 foot passes and down the other side type stuff. Like I came home and I slept like a baby, 8 hours a day for months, but slowly gone back to work. So I'm hoping I can go do another very stressful, strenuous hike and reset my sleep again. Commemorative mount or pet in conjunction with giveaway and login rewards. Troll mask. Says Bridge Troll. Hey, Mythic 700R. Mitch 700R. You didn't miss anything. I didn't talk about anything today. Oh, burn, says Scoffer. Troll on. Yeah. I don't make it the 100 miles. That's because I'm carrying bags of cash. Did not get any cash out of that. Cowboy hat. I'll videotape myself on that hike whenever I go do it. It probably, I won't say if it's going to be before release 100. You may have to get in the middle of it. Let's see. Yeah, fill his sock with all the quarters. Yeah. No, that, again, everything that was done with that was done in the best interest of the game, which we believe was the best interest of the investors. Just did not work out. And again, all of it pretty well documented. And again, also at that point, I was just the CTO and the guy who did some design, because we never had a lead designer who wasn't a problem. Can anybody name a single lead designer we've had on the project? Who's our lead designer, guys? Richard was the creative vision. Who's our lead designer? Let's see. This will be a trivia question. Anybody? You're not going to get it. No one's going to know. No, Matt wasn't the lead designer. Hutch was the lead artist. Matt was the animator. Laney should be no, Hutch was the lead artist on the project. That was before that. Yeah, so Lum was the quest writer. Yeah, so we never actually had a lead designer. We actually had 3 lead designers who all didn't stay long for reasons that weren't anybody on the team's fault. Richard is actually, I know it seems crazy, but Richard is actually, Brandon Cotton is actually, he was kind of a data guy who did a lot of the data stuff, but he wasn't really the lead designer. So we basically never had a lead designer. But yeah, surprisingly, Richard is actually pretty easy to work with. Lum may disagree with me. But that's one of those things, shockingly, that Richard is actually a pretty good guy to work for. He's obviously great to work for, but he's actually pretty easy to work with and like listens to you and takes feedback on stuff. Scotty was not. Scotty was just an artist, an amazing artist with a voice of an angel. But yeah, current staff are fun too. And yeah, and I will keep looking for people who want to jump out of the community who've proven themselves. Tracy Hickman was the writer of the book that some of the stuff was taken from. So yeah, we did not have a lead designer ever. We had one during the Kickstarter who made a bunch of promises and then left immediately after the Kickstarter. Holding up fingers here. We had one that came on after that. that I curse him constantly, because he's the one that came up with the naming convention for our scenes that is so horrible that you can never figure out what scene it is and there's no connection to it. His thing was he wanted to totally disconnect the scene name from the file name, where there's no relation to it, and it was all just like the scene names are just like numbers and stuff. So the logic behind that being that if you put the actual scene name in the name of the file, that maybe you're tied to it somehow. But the reality is like, okay, well that would make the name of the file useless. It's useless if you do the other thing. Why not just put the name in it? And on the slim chance it changes, who cares? But anyways, he stayed for a while, then left, and let's see, then I'm trying to remember. I think he left because he got like a creative director position in another company. Then another guy came in who stayed for 6 months or so, redid the crafting system, kind of got underwater, and then left. And then we basically rolled back all of his changes. So we've never actually had a lead designer on the project. So yes, I am the lead designer. I didn't want to be. I didn't mean to be. So really, it was a group effort between all those people we just mentioned. I contributed some. Star contributed a lot. Richard contributed a lot. Brandon contributed a lot. And Brandon's back helping us these days, by the way, speaking of like longtime team members and community members who come and go and help us out where they can. He's back helping us now because of Elgarion having reduced time. Doot, 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 doot. I'm looking. Taruturus, not Tartarus, Taruturus. Sorry, I'm reading Elwin's thing. All right, well, guys, I've probably spilled entirely too much information here. Again, really just trying to explain, make sure you guys knew, one, if you missed the early stuff, that, like, there's no way we aren't being honest with you. I try to be as honest with you as possible. If you missed the earlier parts, you can probably go back and watch it, but basically that half the team is made up of community members, many of them unpaid, just volunteers helping out with stuff. And again, as all of them will tell you, if you're a volunteer person, we let you into the team. Basically, you get to work on whatever you want to. I know this will shock you, but Winston came on the team, and I think people tried to get him like, can you go do this thing and that thing, the other thing? And he said, no, I'm going to do fish. I know it's shocking, right? That and also data metric stuff to help us figure out stuff that actually needed to be done. So, but we've got a bunch of people on the team who are community members who have never signed an NDA. If we were in any way not telling you guys the truth, you guys would hear about it pretty darn quick. He's still fishing. That, and also, again, everything was done on the up and up on everything, including the catnip games taking over things. I'm sure on paper you can look at things and some things may look fishy. I'm sure some people are jumping to conclusions and without having the information, but that was all done completely on the up and up. And I still file quarterly reports on everything to show how much revenue we make to the important parties, and we're just not making enough money. Again, I still believe if we do make enough money, in theory, there should be some money to go back to people. So that's your goal. Get our revenue up a bunch. No pressure. No pressure, bro. That's a song that just reminded me. I'll sing that one on the way out here since I didn't really give a good song for Marcus. And he hasn't been around a longer time. I want him to be back. Let's see. Here's one I've been singing as I try to listen to music that I like on the trail. So I'm going to sing you this one on the way out here. And, oh, you know what I got to do? I got to pull some numbers here. So I guess I'll pull some, not numbers, but, winners. You're all winners, guys. If you've been a part of this community for a long time, you're a winner. Or a glutton for punishment, one or the other. All right, I'm running some prize innings here. I'm going to give you guys. I don't want to punish Laney too much here. I didn't see. We didn't even do a hype train, right? I know you guys were giving stuff in all along the way, but just not fast enough. Don't do a hype train now. Seriously, don't do a hype train. There was no hype. There should have been hype. This was a hype-worthy stream. I'm sure the Reddit trolls will be talking and taking out of context stuff out of this stream for years to come. Thank you, Waldo, but seriously, you don't do any hype stuff here. Just try and get some prizes and get out of here so I can go get a drink. It's Friday night, man. But anyways, I will queue up a couple of these prize-innings, and then I'm going to sing you this song here. This is John Craigie. The song called Dissecting the Bird. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I could insert a game developer where he says musician here. But it's just a really cute song, just really funny, so I'm trying to figure out which part I want to sing of it, though. I'll sing the no pressure part. Okay, I'll start off here. I'll get ready. You guys ready? Okay, here we go. I'll start off with the chorus midway through the song because this has the part I was saying earlier. You ready? Oh, you're doing it wrong, dissecting the bird, trying to find the song. It's a miracle that you're here at all. So when the candle flickers, when the days get dark, they call them first world problems, but they'll still break your heart. When the universe feels like it's against you, just take a minute to realize all it took to make you... Okay, this is horrible. He does it so good. It's kind of like this nice rhythm beat, just like so good. Oh, all the way through. I just love the song. Oh. Hold on, I'm looking for a part I can sing. I can't sing any of this stuff, though. Anyways, he sings about it and, like, talks about how incredible the situation had to be for you to be here. Your parents meeting, you know, all of history, your parents, all that stuff. Basically, the universe had to just align just perfectly for you to be here and be the thing. And that the universe is not against you. So just remember that. The universe is not against you. All right, now I'm babbling while I wait for the thing. I get one more, and then I will read off the prizes. Oh, I've been told not to announce. This is from Laney saying, don't announce what the prizes are, and I'll send out the new stuff. Just tell them they've won, and I'll send them a surprise. So we have a new set of prizes that Laney is going to be sending out that are amazing here. So since you guys don't know what the prizes are, I'm just going to read the names straight down, and you guys will get the prizes. I feel like I've done poor service to this Dissecting the Bird song. It's really an amazing song. Go check it out. John Craigie, Dissecting the Bird. It's really good. So I'm going to read these off here, and then I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to get out of here and go spend some time with the fam. Let's see. The winners are, you guys ready? It's tough doing a show by yourself where you haven't got people to make sound effects. Winners are Janie Murphy, Stymie Savage Fury, Long Live Syndicate, Ukulele, I like it, Bridge Troll, classic, Keyman, great, Treasure Pile, still one of my favorite names, Vulcan Jedi, guy who does some amazing things. I need to get some cloaks. Anza Lu, Dagnus Norfall, Aristodemus, Z, another great guy. Oh, how'd this name get in here? Minerva, Nick Shadow, Blackbeard, and another longtime amazing community member, Ehondis. All right, guys, I know this has been a weird stream that probably... All right, well, I'll see you if you guys do anything more there. Thank you very much, Waldo, for getting that going there. Yeah, the guys, again, sorry the stream. If you were someone who does not know the game and you tuned into the stream, you'd probably be saying, what in the hell is going on with this game? The short version is, if you're one of those people, since I know there's at least a couple in there of names that I haven't seen, which is a company made a cool game, had some troubled business model type stuff, did a investment round that raised some money. Some people, including some long-term fans, he just got some bits. Okay, I'm going to do a real song there that I actually know. Got some, did an investment thing where they did some crowd investment type stuff through Seed Invest, and that company died. I worked at that company and was there to the end, and I think technically because I was one of the last people there trying to keep the lights on, they had flagged me as CEO, although I never signed anything that said I was CEO. But I think because I was the only, if there's nobody left at the company, then suddenly you're CEO, or at least you get listed as CEO on the paper. But the company did not make it financially, and I actually, after they tried to sell it to a bunch of different people, I actually acquired the game and have been running it for years now. Continuing to run it, will continue to run it for as long as history allows. Last programmer standing. That's one of those things too. It's like, it's a horrible thing because like programmers are going to be the last ones. Usually it's an HR person, but we never had an HR person at Portalarium. We were a company full of mature people and didn't really need an HR person. So normally it's the last person standing as an HR person trying to lock you out. We didn't have that. And yes, I've used the name Catnip Games. If you go look, I probably shouldn't say because I just give away all my emails. But anyways, I've had the name Catnip Games forever, and registered for long. I guess I re-registered it again in maybe a year before things changed or went weird. But yeah, it's just like a personal LLC. It's been around for a while though. Man, level 4 hype train. Okay, you guys are being super generous now. I got to go look see who made that happen. Thank you guys. And then I really got to get out of here. But guys, again, today was, if you're new to the stream, the game is awesome. Please stick around. The community is even more awesome than the game, which is why, again, I made it a passion project of mine to make sure the game stays around. And I'm going to do one more song here. I just wish I could remember the whole John Craggy thing, the song, the Dissecting the Bird. Again, Dissect the Bird lyrics. Go check them out. Just really cute, wordy song. But it's almost like, hipster rap or something. I don't know. It's really good. But, let's see. It's on the page here. Maybe I should do this one just to embarrass myself. I'll do this one just to embarrass myself while I wait. I guess I don't have anything to wait for here except, I need to go read who won stuff. Brain is fried, guys. Why is this not showing anything? Oh, that never connected. Guys, I don't know who gave me stuff. I know Waldo's awesome. Somebody had given me a bunch. Treasure Pile, you're awesome. Twilight Tempest, you're awesome. Ben Cannoli, Spry One, Dices. So many names here, people that I know and love. Dark and Obscuro of the Obscuro clan. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So many different ways. Waldo, again, Keyman Sor, Mythic, also Mitch. But guys, again, so many thanks. I'm going to give you guys one more prize around here. I'll read it off as soon as it finishes. Actually, 4. That means I owe you 2, I think. I'm going to do 2 more rounds, and while I do that, I'm going to embarrass myself by singing a song I really enjoy singing, but I'm horrible at. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. I lost where I was, and I need to read the prizes and get out of here. Also, I should clarify for those who don't know, if you're new to the stream, if you give 1337 bits, I will sing. This is something we started doing a long time ago. We used to take shots on stream, just to give you some history. Again, game's been around for a long time. We're coming up on one release a month, and we're coming up on release 100. I will admit, release 1, for those who don't know, was a room with a chicken and a chair. And a light that you could turn on and off. So it has improved a little bit. But I need to read some more prizes, and I'm going to get out of here before I embarrass myself. Oh, but if you give me 1337 bits, I will embarrass myself. We used to do it by taking shots. And then we started Star because we stopped taking shots on stream because it would get kind of rough. And we'd say even dumber things than we should. Star started dancing, and I would sing. So then when I moved over to do the streams by myself, I still let you make me embarrass myself, but rather than setting a goal, I just say, if you give me 1337 bits, I'll do it. So John Mark is the official torture artist there who likes making everybody suffer and listen to me sing. But anyways, reading off the last 10 names, and then I am going to get out of here, guys. Again, sorry for the weird stream. If you're a new person, I didn't give any information about anything except talk to you about stuff you probably already knew about Seed Invest or probably had already figured out. Seal Astra. Royu, another long-time name. Ian Berry, another. Vero, long-time favorite guy. I have been told he's right up there. Like Coswald, knowing stuff. Sharp guy. There's a lot of people who say Vero's right up there with him. I just want to throw that out there and embarrass him. Kelworth Dalfort. Selenia. Didi. Denali, Graham Wormsbane, and Blackbeard. Guys, okay, I've embarrassed myself enough and said enough stuff on here to last for a month. I'm going to try to do another stream though here. Probably not next Friday, maybe the Friday after that. I'll try to sneak one in the middle there. This next week's going to be a decompress week. Again, you guys didn't see a lot of stuff that went on the stream, but it was a lot of work for me, this release. And again, congrats on the winners, and Lainey will get those out to you. They will be surprise prizes. I know what they are. She told me not to read them, so you have a problem, tell her. But let me find somebody to raid here. And again, guys, thank you so much for the Twitch stuff. That does actually help. Again, we pretty much are hand to mouth, but we're kind of okay with that. Let's see. So we got a Cosmode CGJ. Oh, he's got a saber-tooth tiger. Let me see if he's in English and lets you do comments. Looks like he does. How many followers is? Oh, and he only has 35 followers. So Cosworth is on. Coswald. Dirthmeyer's on. He's amazing. If you want to learn stuff, you can go watch him. But I've rated him like 100 times, and he deserves 100 more. But I'm going to give this guy here a raid because he is a new guy. Go give him a follow and make his day. It's always fun to see the little streamers who don't have many followers getting the tons of followers all of a sudden and freaking out and crying on stream. I've seen it happen. Oh, I've made it happen. Gives me great joy to make him cry on stream. There we go. Hopefully he's going to be a constructive streamer there. Didn't look like he was running at like 2 frames per second or anything. So anyways, let's go give him a follow, give him a raid. Oh, we already had like people bail out there down to 112. Oh, you could have gone to watch him. All right. Well, guys, again, thank you so much. Sorry for the really weird stream. It's not our normal stream type thing to get on here and do tons of truth bomb stuff like this. Really a stream for the longtime people and the big backers, because a lot of those are the people that got burned in Seed Invest stuff. Again, as far as I know, it is not dead. Seed Invest sent that out. But again, if things turn up, I still file the reports to the middle company. And I don't know why it doesn't go through. But I'm confident that if something amazing happens, crossing fingers, crossing everything, then that money will show up and make its way there. But again, I don't know for sure because I don't have any information, which is kind of the problem in all this stuff, is I have so little information. But guys, again, thank you so much. Thanks for all the support, especially the Seed Invest people. Again, it didn't go to me, but it went to help the company and make a better game along the way. So We'll keep making it better. We'll keep working on things and keep being an awesome community. Talk to you guys in a couple weeks. Bye. Bam.